Welcome back to the Knife Box channel, everyone. Today we got a really cool modded PM2, and this has been supplied by my good buddy Jiro, so big shout out to him. So tonight we're not going to go super spec heavy, as there's a million videos on PM2. But I've always been a fan since I started collecting knives. As a matter of fact, the second knife I ever bought myself was a PM2 in digital camo G10 and S30V. And my coworker actually still has this knife, and I think I bought that thing, I can't even remember when. That was, God, a long time ago. Anyways, so just for that mere fact, I've always been kind of a fan, and I've always had a soft spot for these knives in some sort of respect. The other thing too is I love modding knives. I love customizing my knives. Production knives, custom knives. I'll send a custom knife to get more stuff added sometimes. All kinds of things, you know. I just like to play around with the whole knife collecting hobby. And this is no exception of something that I would love to do. So this one I think is done really well. And let's go ahead and take a closer look. So up front we have this CPM S30V blade steel. And this obviously is the Tanto profile, which is something that was exclusive to Blade HQ. Now the original one came with black G10 scales, I'm assuming, but this one's been dressed with full titanium scales, which is also really quite cool. Another thing that we all can recognize is the Lynch clip right here, which is really cool. And then all the hardware and all the spacers and everything else have been replaced, which is kind of nice. So I really like how it's all been put together, and there's a lot of attention to detail on this one. The all the rock pattern is done so nicely, and if you look, the rock pattern on the flats of the blade look actually kind of uniform to it, which I think is really cool. Now originally, I'm assuming that there was kind of this sort of anodization process going on the scales too, because if you look at where the flats kind of are, or look kind of the shiny spots, it's got kind of the same tone, the bronze that follows with this kind of purple violet color and just kind of fades out over the end of the knife here, which is really quite cool. Something that kind of caught my eye right off the bat, you know, and I like how it just kind of all follows this color theme, front to back. Even the screws, you got a little bit of blue and just kind of like a transition in color in the hardware as well. Kind of an interesting color, almost looks copper on that guy, but I'm pretty sure that's all just like bronze titanium at a certain voltage and whatnot, or you know, something else. Now this has been orange peel textured, this Lynch clip right here. It's deep carry, it's put in a nice spot, as you can see, even when you have a lanyard on it, so that works out quite well. So yeah, just an absolutely cool, nicely uniformed modded knife. Very pleasing to my eye, to tell you the truth. I'd be really happy to carry this guy without any regrets. Even the inside of the knife, you can see here the compression lock and some of the other stuff on the inside, which is most likely not titanium, have been colored bronze or anodized in some way, which is kind of cool too. Now looking at this whole thing, I'm pretty sure that this scale, this blade, and this bead, and this whole entire thing here just all came as one package. So overall, I like the way that it blends with the colors, and you can even see a nice cool copper bead that kind of just follows the whole rock pattern theme on this knife. Now I went and I looked on his website, and here's a couple things that I saw just scrolling through, and was kind of impressed with this overall theme. I seen a couple other knives that look kind of similar to this one, but he's got a kind of cool, unique signature modding style to his knives, which I really like. So really appreciate that aspect of it. So I guess since I have this thing in my hand, and just from the way it feels, it's finished and everything, I highly recommend this knife modder, even though this is actually not even my knife. This is really well done. Again, the action is just butter, and nicely centered too. So there you have it, a really cool modded PM2. So let's do some size comparisons, just because we always do that, right? Try to bring out some different things this time. Here's my new Spidey Chef I got fairly recently. It's a Knife Joy exclusive. And then I figured a Benchmade 940 is also a really popular knife to kind of do a size comparison. This is the 2001 version, not the year 2001, the model number 2001. I believe that's last year or the year before that. Anyways, so you can kind of look and see what we see here. Now, I always like to bring out a custom knife just because for size comparison. So I brought out my custom Greg Lightfoot custom Nighthawk. So there you have it, kind of in that medium size type ballpark knife range. You know, on the handle portion of things, you can see how the PM2 kind of has that nice longer handle. And some people complain about the knife to handle, the blade to handle ratio and so on and so forth. But in some respects, sometimes if you have a certain size blade, having a little bit of a longer handle to have that additional grip and comfort, I think is a-okay, even if the blade kind of appears to be a little bit shorter in some respects, right? And the way this knife is modded, it actually does not have that appearance to me whatsoever. It looks very well proportioned, much more proportioned than what they look like with the G10 scales. So there you have it. So another thing that might make us a little bit curious is how much does this thing weigh now that it's all titanium? And it's kind of been gutted in some respects. So let's bring out a scale and just take a quick peek, because that's something I'm curious about too. Also, for you guys that are new to the PM2, here's an overall length, kind of a blade length, handle length for you guys. And let's check out the weight. Semper Fi to my fellow Marines out there. All right, let's see here. So that's me laying the lanyard on the table, 5.05 ounces. That's actually pretty good. It felt lighter than that to me. I don't know, it's just really nicely balanced. But yeah, 5 ounces, there you have it. That is what your all titanium PM2 is gonna weigh. So kind of cool, guys. I really dig it. I really want to say a big thanks to my buddy Jiro, and also a big shout out to the neighbor that's popping off some fireworks behind me and ruining my video. So anyways, guys, don't forget to subscribe. We're almost at 1,500 subscribers. I think I'm only like 2 people away or 3 people away. So make sure you hit that subscribe button just to bump things up a little bit. And we'll catch you guys all on the next one. Thanks again, guys.